Auth66. Lighting's a bit crazy in here today. This is not like the usual time that I record, but what a day. Was supposed to have a day in office today. Supposed to get some stuff done. Somehow I marked down the day that my kids came home from camp as one day different than what they did. I thought they were coming home tomorrow. And then I got a message saying that the bus was running earlier. And I was like, what do you mean it's running earlier? And yeah, hightailed it to go pick them up, which is about an hour and a half away. And when I got the message, they were going to be it was like 1 hour from, so like technically I guess I would have been on time or roughly on time had they kept their original drop-off time, but because they were early, I was a half an hour late. My kids were not the last kids picked up, so I mean, I guess I'm winning. But that's not what today's Auth66 is about. Just to explain my freneticness and why it's not really that planned. But somebody said, or I keep seeing on LinkedIn, that Friday is Friendship Friday. And I don't know if I've looked up what the definition of that is. I think you're just supposed to I don't know, tag some of your friends and stuff. I'm going to look up officially what I'm supposed to do or what it's about before I participate again. But today, and if it's what I think it is, going forward, I'm going to talk about some of the vendors that I love working with. But today, my video was dedicated to Ninja. It was one of my Ninja shirts. I'm not going to name the vendor we were with before, but we were with another vendor and for our RMM. And when we made the decision to change, it was actually a very difficult decision because that's not a small thing to move. And at the time, I don't know that I would say that we've been like 5-6 years now with Ninja. I don't know if I would say they have the same market penetration as they do now. I don't know if I would say they were not as established, but as the product has changed a lot in that time frame. And you know, we were not hesitant to make a move. It wasn't about the company, but it was just about everything was aligned on one particular brand. And to think of taking something outside of that brand, that was a little bit nerve-wracking. But the journey in doing so has been very rewarding. Now, you can go out, look up a bunch of things about Ninja or whatever. It's not really a sales thing when I talk about friends. What I do want to talk about though is, you know, the community that's around it. So since it's Friendship Friday, I will say I love my account manager. Nicole is amazing. She is on top of pretty much anything that I need. And I enjoy working with someone who I can have a shorthand with, where I don't have to go through a big long explanation for a lot of things. There's just quick, easy conversations. That's important to me because my time is finite. And I happen to also love Jonathan. Shout out to Jonathan, who posted a funny video today, which will be probably shared after this one, or maybe I'll just link it within this one, who knows. And I know so many people on the team that I think I could be here for I don't know, at least a half an hour, just saying shout outs to people that I appreciate working with. But because today is Friendship Friday, beyond my friends who work at Ninja, I'd like to talk about some of the people in the community, specifically two who probably aren't expecting this video, but gentlemen, I just have to say, you make every time that we show up on a webinar, or I show up on a webinar, absolutely fun. Despite the dad jokes, but to David and Robert, I guess we keep saying co-captains or whatever of the unofficial Ninja fan club, but this community in general, whether it be on the Discord or when you're out there at events, it's pretty tight-knit. And when I think about the vendors that we do the best with, it's always the ones where you do have that sense of camaraderie because there's a trust inbuilt in the user base, and then you're able to share ideas and talk about the product, or go back and forth and kind of spark off of each other, which is, it's really difficult necessarily to do that with the people that work at the company unless they've worked in an MSP before. These are people that are in the trenches doing what you're doing. And I think the old school thought was always that like these are your competitors, but no. I mean, could we compete for a contract? Maybe. Although one of them's in the Netherlands, so probably not. But it's not about that. It's about looking at the wider scope of going like, how can we all learn together? And if we're all saying the same things, maybe our voice can register with vendors in a way that helps push the product into not just like, specifically what I want, but what the industry needs, right? I think that's one thing that Ninja did really well, was they actually hired a lot of people from within the industry to be able to give feedback and, do that translation piece. But I do have to say, I really enjoy my buddies. There's lots of people in the Discord too, Mikey. There's like just people that we end up chatting with, random stuff. And without those people, I don't know if I would know as much. I don't know if I feel as welcome either, because, well, the staff is welcoming when I show up on a webinar and I'm chatting. It's also the other users that are just as welcoming. So it's interesting to see how community forms in many different ways, both as standalone communities that exist out there in the MSP space, but also the ones that exist for specific vendors. And if I had to be thankful for something on Friendship Friday, I'd be like to be thankful for that.